How to use the NIHR Research Delivery Network Sponsor Engagement Tool. The Sponsor Engagement Tool has been developed to provide an efficient and effective way for sponsors and delegates to provide regular assessments of study progress and key study data to ensure the data the network holds is up to date. The tool supports sponsors to meet the requirements outlined in the Department of Health and Social Care Policy, Terms and Conditions for NIHR Research Delivery Network support. The tool has a user-centric design and will allow sponsors and delegates to securely access network-held data from their portfolio of studies and request support for their studies from the network. The tool is accessible on PC, laptop, tablet, and smartphones, including various browsers. This how-to video provides an overview of how to use the tool, how to access the Sponsor Engagement Tool, and log in. You can access the Sponsor Engagement Tool via the URL assessmystudy.nihr.ac.uk or via the link in the automatic system notification email you may have received. Users should be invited to use the Sponsor Engagement Tool on behalf of their sponsor or delegate organisation, i.e. it isn't open access. If you believe you should have access to your organisation's information via the Sponsor Engagement Tool, please contact the Study Support Service Help Desk at supportmystudy@nihr.ac.uk. If you have previously accessed an NIHR tool, such as NIHR Learn, the Central Portfolio Management System, CPMS, or the Open Data Platform, ODP, you should already have an account set up. So simply input your email and password and the system will log you into the tool. An option to reset your password is available if needed. If you do not have a previous account set up, you'll be asked to create a password and then log in. Study List Dashboard. Once logged in, you should be able to see a list of studies linked to the organisation you represent, either as a sponsoring organisation or as a sponsor delegate, such as a contract research organisation, CRO, or clinical trial unit, CTU. The studies in the list are on the NIHR Research Delivery Network, also known as the RDN Portfolio, with a status of in setup, open to recruitment, or suspended. Some of these studies have been highlighted due to aspects of the data held by the NIHR RDN and a lapsed assessment. These data-related aspects may be due to one or more of the following criteria. Missed milestones. The study appears to be past a planned milestone, such as the planned opening to recruitment date or the planned closure to recruitment date. Recruitment concerns. The study appears to be behind a linear recruitment projection. The study appears to have already met the UK target. The study appears not to have recruited a participant in more than 6 months. You'll be able to see a number of key features, including the number of live, in setup, open and suspended studies, and the number of studies requiring an assessment. Help text to describe when studies need to have an assessment provided by a sponsor or delegate. A button to download the data held by the Sponsor Engagement Tool into an Excel file. Guidance on how NIHR RDN support can be requested. For sponsor organisations only, a button to access a dashboard which provides oversight of performance and visualise all your organisation's open studies on the RDN Portfolio. A search function where users can search by part of the study title, protocol number, IRIS ID or CPMS ID. And a sort by function by due assessments only. As a default setting, users will be presented with studies which are due an assessment at the top. These are also indicated by the pink due flag. The list of studies will show the sponsoring organisation and the CRO or CTU as appropriate, the short title, information on the last sponsor assessment, and what the data the NIHR RDN holds about the study is indicating. The View Study button will take the user to a page where they'll be able to view further information on the study data that the NIHR RDN holds on the study. This includes the study status, key milestone dates, targets, and recruitment to date. In addition, the user will be able to find details of past sponsor assessments for the study. as well as further identifiers, such as the full study title and IRAS ID. This will help the user identify the study in preparation for submitting the assessment for the study. The user can navigate to the study list screen by clicking on the All Studies hyperlink, back navigation button, or on the home icon on the left-hand pane. Providing key data updates of a study. Upon review of the data presented in the study page, if the user wants to provide updated data to the RDN, they should select the Update Study Data button. This will take the user to an Update Study Data page, where they'll be able to make changes to the study status, planned or actual open to recruitment date, planned or actual closed to recruitment date, expected reopening to recruitment date for studies with a suspended status, and UK recruitment target. There is also a further information free text field where users can provide any additional information to the RDN. The user should then click the Update button at the bottom of the page. Please note, there are some validation checks on the data to support users to provide information in a standard manner. For example, if a status is changed from in setup to open to recruitment, then the actual open date is a mandatory requirement. Upon submitting, and if the expected data is provided, the user will be taken back to the relevant study page and will be presented with a message to confirm that the data has been submitted successfully. For information, there are certain data points which will be automatically accepted into the RDN database, also known as CPMS, while others will require a manual review and entry. Even if the data provided requires an RDN review, this will be managed by RDN teams, who may get in touch with you if any further information is required, in order to record the information in the RDN database in a timely manner. In either case, the user's submitted updates will be visible within the audit panel of the study page. Depending on the information the user provided, the requirement of the study assessment, as indicated by the pink due flag, may have changed. Providing an assessment of a study. Users can access the assessment page via the study details page by clicking on the Assess Study button. On the assessment page, the user will be shown the sponsor and delegate organisation, full study title, functionality to access further study identifiers, and the last assessment provided by the sponsor or delegate. The user is then able to provide an assessment for the study by indicating on track or off track. This is the mandatory aspect of the assessment. The user is then able to add further information to the NIHR to supplement the on-track or off-track assessment by selecting from the multi-select list of available options and/or adding additional free text. This free text may include updates you wish to provide to the RDN, for example, information on the next steps for the study, or to provide further context to the multi-select options selected. If the user would like to provide the RDN with updates to the RDN held dataset, then they should do this via the Edit Study Data button, as explained by the Providing Key Updates to a Study chapter of this video. The user should then click the green Submit Assessment button to ensure the assessment has been recorded. A message will appear to confirm the successful submission of the assessment. If there is an issue, for example on track or off track is not selected, then an error message will appear. Requesting NIHR RDN support for your study. Within the study details page, or the study assessment page, the user is able to click on the green Request Support button to access information on how to contact the NIHR RDN to discuss their study and any particular challenges and how the RDN may be able to help. Downloading study data. In response to user feedback, the Download Study Data function was developed to enable users to work offline to collect the relevant information needed for the sponsor engagement tool from their wider teams. On the home page, users are able to click the Download button to provide a snapshot of data the sponsor engagement tool holds for the sponsor or delegate organisation. This data is exported into Excel and can be accessed in the Downloads icon of your browser. This file should then be saved on the user's device or computer. Sponsor RDN Portfolio Dashboard. Users linked to a sponsor organisation will have access to the Sponsor RDN Portfolio Dashboard. Clicking on the Access Dashboard button on the home screen will take the user to the Open Data Platform dashboard, where they will be presented with oversight of performance of their organisation's RDN portfolio of open studies, according to the data the RDN holds. In addition, users will have the ability to drill down into per study details. System-generated notifications. The Sponsor Engagement tool has the ability to send notifications to users. If you've been nominated to represent your organisation for the first time, you will receive a notification to invite you to create an account if necessary, and access the Sponsor Engagement tool to input assessments on behalf of the sponsor or delegate organisation you represent. Every 90 days, sponsor and delegate representatives will receive a notification if they have one or more studies which are due to be assessed. Through these notifications, you'll be able to access the tool to undertake the necessary activities. Logging out. To log out of the application, users should click on the cog icon in the blue navigation pane and select Log Out. If you require any help, guidance or support to access or provide assessments using the Sponsor Engagement tool, if you're unclear on why you've been asked to represent your organisation, or have questions on the studies you can view, please contact Support My Study at nihr.ac.uk and we'll be happy to help you. We hope you find the Sponsor Engagement tool a helpful and user-friendly application. Please provide any feedback and ideas on how the Sponsor Engagement tool could be improved via the link in the video description. Thank you.